Right. Any questions? Should we go through the questions that the listeners have?
Yes.
Right.
Some good
Let's.
questions, by the way.
Right.
Some very good questions.
I want to start with Benjamin Sesko. Yeah. The second question. Yeah.
Sesko.
Who, incidentally, Benjamin Sesko might be. I assume it's a different Benjamin Sesko. Has subscribed
Might
to
not be.
us. But yeah, he
Oh, there
subscribed
we
to us.
go.
I'd just like to say, Zubamendi has also subscribed to us on YouTube. Liam.
I mean,
Yeah.
why wouldn't you?
Yeah, why wouldn't you? I mean, like we're fast growing, so thanks, Zubamendi. Although I've got to be honest with you, Liam, it's not the real Zubamendi because he's called Thomas Zubamendi. So I don't know if it's Zubamendi's brother or dad. I don't know. I'm not quite familiar with Zubamendi's family situation. Actually, do you know?
I- I'd be a bit concerned if you were.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you're a top class dentist, but like that would worry me.
So I don't know anything about Zubamendi. Anyway, thank you, family member of Zubamendi, for subscribing to us. But yeah, no, the other Benjamin Sesko, I'm not sure. He's got Benjamin Sesko as the profile picture. It doesn't have a verified tick on it. But thank you to subscribing. But anyway, our Benjamin Sesko. Uh, our next game is Fulham away on October the 19th. I think we struggled away at Fulham over the last few years, despite having strong possession. Why is that, and what needs to change for this game to be a better result for us? I mean, I spoke about this last time that I have obviously experienced a loss at Craven Cottage myself on a Wednesday night when Van Persie scored. I think it was a Wednesday. It was definitely a weekday. When Van Persie scored the free kick, but we still won 2-1. So I'm kind of traumatized by that, and I still believe that they have a lot of potential to just beat top teams. What do you reckon? Do you think it's changed this season? Uh, or do we need to keep on doing what we're doing so far in the season?
So the reason why Fulham are have been difficult to beat over the last few seasons is because they've got better and they've got a good manager.
Mm, yeah,
That's the long and short of it. They have improved a lot. Like their manager's a decent manager. Um, their squad's not too bad either. Um,
can I?
so
Yeah,
I think we'll beat them.
I'll jump in. I've always thought they've had not bad managers. Like, it's Chris Coleman, right? Can you remember Chris Coleman? Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought he was a good manager. Who do you think was a bad manager, bad Fulham manager? Because they've always been up there.
Uh, I wouldn't know if that makes sense. Like I
Yeah.
can't. I couldn't recall like Fulham data and managers.
Yeah, I
Um,
just find that they've always been a strong team that seems to they stick in the Premier League. They're always in the Premier League, and they always show up against top teams. It always seems to be a thing.
I don't. Do they? Do you remember a couple of years ago when we had Aubameyang,
Yeah,
Bellerin, Ramsey, Giroud, Leno in goal, and we went to Fulham and we smashed them like 5-1. We scored one of the best goals
yeah,
from
yeah,
front to
yeah,
back.
yeah. I think I should.
So they were a bit rubbish then, but
Yeah,
recently,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I should rephrase. I would say that they always like to give it a go. And I can't remember when they last sort of parked the bus. Really. Okay, I'm
that's
gonna
a fair
swallow my words.
point.
Actually, they did it last season. Actually, I remember that one. Yeah, last season
They
they.
do seem to have a gem in their team every now and then, don't they? Like they had Van der Sar when they first came up to the Prem. Do you
Yeah,
remember
yeah,
Van der Sar used to play for
yeah.
Fulham, and then they had that French striker up top, Mal Blanc. No, that's a fashion brand. What's his
Montblanc.
name?
That's a pen brand. Yeah.
That's a pen. Yeah,
What
that's
are
a
you
pen
about to say,
brand.
Malbec? Because that's an Argentinian wine.
Louis Saha, and
Yeah,
they
Saha was quality. Yeah,
when he was fit, he was a good player, wasn't he?
yeah, yeah. Well,
So I think we'll beat Fulham. Look, sometimes you go through phases against teams where you just can't get it over the line,
uh,
and they really up their game.
yeah,
So hopefully on the 19th we just hammer them.
yeah.
Hopefully.
All right. Second question. I believe this is from Peter Lee.
Hello,
Do you
Peter.
think that Arsenal hasn't gone out of second or I do apologize. This is not from Peter Lee. This is from Leonard. Sorry about that, Leonard and Peter. Do you think that Arsenal hasn't gone out of second or third gear so far, or is it our current tactics to be more pragmatic and conserve energy?
We're a possession-based team.
Hmm.
We're always going to be pragmatic and recycle the ball around, which is perceived to be conserving energy. But when you play as a front four or six in a possession-based team, you do a lot of movement off the ball.
Hmm.
Equally, so does the defensive team because you've got to shift from left to right and you've got to keep your lines and stuff.
Hmm.
You're not counter-attacking. You're not covering huge distances, but you're covering short distance at a more intense rate. So the sort of lateral movements between Zubamendi and Declan
Yes.
Rice
Yeah.
to get that ball from left to right is a lot. The only player that's not tied is David Raya and Saliba and Gabriel because those two that they're essentially a massive triangle
Yeah.
because the two boys will be on the halfway line and David Raya is just on the chilling on the 18-yard box. Um, are we out of second or third gear? Do you know? I don't know what gear we're in. We need a solid run of games winning to
Hmm.
say.
Hmm.
What do you think?
I think that we have definitely adjusted tactics slightly and definitely pragmatic and conserving energy. I'm assuming that that was kind of what how somebody asks it that way. I'm guessing that's maybe how Leonard feels as well. If it isn't, then please comment on social media because like I don't think it's a coincidence that we've gone through a few games where it's clean sheets and two nils. I think it's the reason why these are 2-0s. Yeah, okay, you could argue that we had chances to score, but as you will say and I will say, you find me any team or strikers or whoever that's going to score every single chance, it's just not going to happen, right? And would you have preferred? Do I prefer a more consistent kind of 2-0 and we are controlling a huge amount of game, like having 60-70% possession, right? Really choking out the opposition in a different way, which is when you're holding, it's like you said, possession play, you are knackering out those players. The players you can't get near our players, right? It's beautiful possession football. I find it beautiful. Some people think, oh, it's a bit boring, this and that. But look,
I think it can be boring to be honest
yeah,
at times. Yeah, definitely. I'd agree it can be.
yeah,
But if you appreciate what you're watching,
yeah.
because like, I think actually you're gonna say something quite similar.
Yeah.
About to say it. You look at the combinations, right? So you look at the overlapping run from Ben White around Saka, or you look at the underlapping run, if you will, from
Mm.
Timber to fill a pocket, and then Saka's got a one-on-one, or Madueke's got a one-on-one. So those short little sprints there as a defender, because you've got to be on your toes and sprint in, sprint out, tiring.
Yeah. Yeah. I also think that there may be a reason why we have adopted this tactic is perhaps the trauma from last season where everybody was just getting constantly injured, and I think
Well, we haven't
yeah.
we haven't really changed anything though, have we?
But I find that we have been. This is going to play into a lot of what the narrative was about being too defensive. We have definitely not gone to try and destroy teams like 5-0, 6-0, that kind of thing. Like, I think we have put our foot off the gas a little bit when it goes to a 2-0, and it's just like, okay, let's just be calm. Let's not lose our heads and try and destroy the opposition because, we don't want to overexert ourselves. That's what I find. That's what I'm seeing anyway. Whether it's the reality is another thing.
So I'll ask you this:
Mm.
when when did can you recall when we have got into a lead into a game and then conceded the lead.
When did we last concede a
Like,
lead?
was that a
Yeah.
theme? Was that a theme last season, in your opinion?
Straight away, yes. I don't know if the reality is like that, but I'm thinking of a lot of situations where we lost control of games. Yeah.
We lost control of games, but we didn't concede many goals though. We've barely
Mm,
conceded
I'm
goals all
thinking I'm
season,
thinking
all
I'm
years
thinking
for the last
Brighton
couple of
straight
years.
away, and I know there was a red card which kind of
Do you know
imbalances that.
what?
Yeah.
Do you know what? That's a fair. You've actually made a very fair point. I think last year we were very immature.
Hmm.
I think that's what it comes down to. Silly yellow cards, Declan Rice touching the ball away, Lewis Skelly sort of diving and stepping in and getting a second yellow. Uh, who else? Who else got silly yellows and reds last season? Trossard, I seem to remember.
Saliba on the halfway line. Yeah,
Saliba,
Trossard for
halfway line.
Manchester City. Yeah.
So maybe
Yeah.
what we're finding is not a case of shifting through the gears, it's a case of maturity, controlling the ball game.
Agreed.
Sorry, controlling the ball more, controlling the game more, which makes the performance like it's essentially in gear two, but it's just more mature, more refined because we're not losing our heads. We're making one more
Yeah.
conservative pass rather than playing
Yeah.
that through ball.
You just said it. That's what it is. We're not putting ourselves into these situations where we could get sent off a
Yes,
yellow
I
card or
think so.
whatever, and then I hate to say it because not every Arsenal fan's going to agree with me, but then blaming it on the red card. Don't get me wrong, right? Some of those red cards, there were some strange red cards going on there. But let's,
Well,
yeah,
we put ourselves into a position to get
yeah,
them. That's the
that's the
problem.
thing. When you reflect on it, you got to say, what could we have done differently? I'll tell you what, you could just pass the ball around that 2-0 and just choke out the opposition. That's what you could do, right? And then people can have a go at you for being boring. But guess what? It's a 2-0 win, and there's no red cards, and nobody's getting injured. So happy
Yeah, I
days.
think it's a maturity
Yeah,
thing. I think it's a maturity thing.
yeah. I like that question, and I'd like to hear from Leonard. We do speak, and if you could make some comments on what you think it is as well. I'd like to hear your opinion and
Get
all the other
get
fans'
on Shao Hong
opinions.
Shu.
Yeah, get on there, get on there. Right. So our final question is from the amazing Moti. Yeah. So, do
Hello, Mr. Moat.
you want to read this one, or shall I read this one?
Do you know, I think your voice is very soothing and
Oh,
the way
all
you
right.
deliver the
Thank you.
question just
All right, I'll
it
do it.
opens up endless
All right, I do it because this is the
opportunities.
reason why I've let this to last because I feel this is going to span onto a conversation about narratives. Now we're playing well. The media are desperately looking for some other stories to hone in on, and have picked on Gyökeres not having scored for a few games. What's your take on him, and do you share their concern? Mm,
Not concerned at all.
yeah, me neither. Yeah. We've kind of covered it already. The media do need to look for stories to hone in on. And I was listening to Arscast, an Arsenal Vision podcast, and talking about because they get quoted on social media channels a lot and saying how they get frequently misquoted just for likes, comments, and engagement. And unfortunately, it's like today's media, where it is mainstream media or social media, is everything thrives from engagement, which thrives from a little bit of negativity at times, a little bit of
Yeah.
negativity and controversy, and I'm not concerned at all. And now they've picking on this situation, and like we said earlier, Arsenal not winning all their games at the beginning of the season suddenly were labeled as being too defensive and not going for the win, and now Liverpool are second, and now Liverpool sort of getting picked on. It's like it's getting a bit silly now with some of these. I've always had it not favoured BBC. Let's put it this way. Or to be fair, I don't think Guardian's any better either. If I'm being quite frank with you, a lot of
Mm.
mainstream media. But Tuchel's comments Also he's been picked on now. Saying the fans been too boring. But I do have sort of two questions for you. I mean, do you find that there is a big sort of media narrative that keeps on shifting all the time, and do you accept what it is? Do you think it's got worse since we've got since we were young kids
I'm not
watching
sure it's got
Arsenal?
worse. I'm not sure it's got
Yeah.
worse. The media are they're always a bit of a
Mm,
disaster, aren't
yeah.
they? They just
Yeah.
as the saying goes, they build you up to break you
Yeah.
down. So
Sure.
the only thing that I like in some ways, people have way more options now to listen to
Mm,
different people's opinions about sport. Now, listen, whether you like them or loathe them, AFTV opened the door for fan engagement on the spot for all football teams and football clubs, right?
mm,
So instead of waiting for the review in a mainstream media outlet, within 20 minutes or an hour after the game, you can jump on YouTube or whatever platform and just hear the man in the streets point of view, and not only for Arsenal, I mean for every club, you know.
mm,
So I think the media, I think they've missed the trick. The mainstream media, they didn't engage well enough. Arsenal Football Club did not engage well enough with the
yep.
fans. Therefore, the likes of AFTV were born from that
Correct.
because
Correct.
people's voices were not being heard.
Yeah.
So now the trains left the station.
Mm,
So they kind of got what they deserve, the mainstream media, because everyone's got a voice now due to technology and social media.
yeah.
Whether you can hear it in the sea
Yeah.
of voices is a different thing.
Yeah. It's kind of. I think you're right, Liam. I think that's very well said. Has it really changed? No, not really. I mean, I was watching the Beckham documentary the other day. I watched it for the second time. Have you seen it? The Beckham documentary.
No, I haven't. I
Just
haven't. I
one
haven't.
of the. I mean, it's a fantastic documentary because it covers a lot of different things through a time period. But I think it's kind of. It feels like going back in time. I'd highly recommend it. But one of the things is how the newspapers and news channels just completely destroyed Beckham. They built him up and completely destroyed him, which they were like the social media at the time. I mean, we complain about social
Yeah,
media. I mean,
exactly.
if anything, they weren't any different either, and it really caused a huge impact on Beckham's mental health, as you can imagine, right?
The, the only thing is mainstream media now are losing out on money
Yes.
via traffic and views. So
Yeah.
again, they're kind of getting a bit of what they deserve.
Yeah. My second question. Well, I've just looked at the time, and we really should wrap this up. Actually, the second question,
Well,
really, I think this is probably a good final topic. Is really it's about football, the direction it's gone in. Do you think that it's just become too expensive for fans, true fans, to attend a lot of these top tier games, whether it is Arsenal or the England
that's
games?
a it's an incredible question. I really appreciate that we're discussing this because I think it needs to be discussed. We're based in Asia. We can't go to games. Let's have it right. We watch the replays. Just let's say it as it is, right? Um, so on previous podcasts, I've mentioned that I've gone down to Loftus Road and to watch
Yeah,
QPR. That was because trying to get an Arsenal ticket in the Henri Prime era,
yeah,
or even before, after at Highbury, was nigh on impossible.
yes,
Right? It was incredibly
yeah,
impossible. Gold dust, gold dust, gold
yeah,
dust, gold dust. Right? So a lot of football fans, you'd go to your another close team
correct.
to watch football. Right? That's only fair. So what? Like it or lump it, it is what it is. Right? Now, what it's incredible how expensive. I used to have an Arsenal season ticket, and it was at the worst time of our sort of recent history. Do you know I couldn't give tickets away? I could not even sell ticket on the ticket exchange, my match ticket on the ticket exchange, and I had to give it up because I was staying over here.
Mm,
And it wouldn't be fair to. I think it's really unfair if you just block the ticket.
Yeah.
It would have benefited me now because obviously everybody wants to go to the Arsenal now.
Yeah.
But tickets are way too expensive. Final point to summarize to wrap it up from my point of view. I believe you should be able to go with a family member or a friend. You jump on the train, or you get the bus down to the match, or you walk and you go into the chip shop for your pre-match routine or post-match dinner, whatever. There should be a little bit of change at the end of it, right?
Yeah.
Now you're spending 25 quid on fish and chips,
Yeah.
right? You're spending possibly what? How much you spend on a ticket?
Well,
On a rubbish cup game, 30
yeah.
quid. On a big game, category A game, category B, category C, you're spending anywhere from 60s, 40s,
Absolutely. Yeah.
100 quid to see a
Yeah.
game. Plus
Every week as
plus
well.
travel, by the way.
Yeah.
Plus, plus travel.
Yeah. Not including
The
like the
underground's not
drinks as
cheap.
well. If you have drinks and stuff, it's overpriced
Yeah,
in the
imagine if
stadium.
you're older. Imagine if you're like sort of me and you go, and we can
Yeah.
have a beverage of sorts, whatever it may be. It might be a Bovril. It might be. Well, I can't. It won't be a can of Coca Cola or 7 Up because you're a dentist and you'll shout at me. But it's well expensive. Hence why people probably watch it at home now or stream it, and then they get upset about streaming. Well, football's got to be affordable. It's a working man's game. It always was, and it should be available to everyone.
Yeah, I find that you want to get a good atmosphere going on in the stadium. Thankfully, Emirates has been okay, but you see it on some other sort of football clubs, and they're complaining about their atmosphere. It's like, well, if you're going to price it, you're going to price out a lot of people, then you're obviously going to get a very mixed atmosphere. I'm just confused as to who's able to afford going to every single game at that price.
Well,
Yeah.
it's tourists though, isn't it?
Is
That's the
that what
thing.
it
You can
is?
buy
Ah,
tickets. You can buy tickets on tourist websites. There was a big scandal with Bowley at Chelsea,
right.
where he owned a sub company who had match day tickets for one of the home stands
Mm,
in Stamford Bridge, where members couldn't get tickets,
yeah.
but you could get a ticket if you bought it in American dollar or like a website for. I believe it was for tourists in America and so on.
Mm,
And other countries as well, not just America, wherever the case may be, where local members from West London or the Greater London area,
mm,
they couldn't get a ticket. Like now, apparently, trying to get tickets at Arsenal is nigh on impossible because
yeah.
there's loads of bots.
Well,
So
yeah.
you
I
got
mean, on that note, Emirates has definitely been the most expensive ground I've been to. We talk about local going to another sort of local club around. And when I was, in London, I'll give a shout out to some really nice grounds I've been to. Obviously, I've mentioned Craven Cottage. I've been to the Valley and watched Charlton
okay.
Arsenal, and I watched that amazing Van Persie volley outside the box with one goal of the season. Can you remember that? Eboué crossed it,
I,
and
what a goal, by
yeah.
the way.
So I've actually seen Van Persie score twice, like two amazing goals. So obviously, I think maybe this is adding to my Van Persie rage after he left Arsenal. Another one, I'd like to give a good shout out to Leighton Orient as well. I don't know the name of their stadium.
Top club.
Yeah.
Oh, their stadium. Oh, why have you said that? It's in my head.
Oh, really?
The name is the name is ringing in my head, and I cannot say it.
Oh man. And it's so
What is it?
I love it how it's so close to the station as well. You get off and it's like literally just 2 minutes walk. And it's a lovely walk as well. It's a great walk.
Like going to Kew Gardens.
Hmm?
Have you been to Kew Gardens?
No, I haven't been to Kew Gardens. No.
It's a lovely walk and a lovely station next to loads of old
Oh,
pubs.
right. Yeah, no, I've got to check that out next time. But I'll tell you who was playing when I watched Leighton Orient. He's actually playing for Bournemouth because they were playing against Bournemouth at the time. Was Darren Anderton? Remember him? Yeah,
Wow,
he was playing centre
wow,
mid.
that's Did he last? He was quite had a bit of an injury record, didn't he?
Yeah, it was towards the latter of his career. I mean, I think he might have been okay. I might be making this up, but he looked about 42.
Wow.
As it,
Oh, that would be about right, wouldn't it?
I think it was so. It was 2006 is when I watched it. So how old was he in 2006? Yeah.
No idea, to be honest with
Yeah,
you.
sorry. I just I kind of was banking on the fact that you had Googled him or Wikipedia'd him, Darren Anderson. But he was. I'd just like to say one thing. He was the best player on the on the pitch. He was like
He was a good player,
he
though,
was
weren't he?
spinning everybody like Zidane, which just kind of summed up the difference in quality.
but he was a top player, though, wasn't he? Just couldn't stay fit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I've got the stats right here. So yeah, 2006. He actually went on to play for Bournemouth for another 3 years. So yeah, and yeah, I can't be bothered to do the maths, but yeah, he was yeah, around there. Yeah, annoyingly, it just doesn't tell me how old he was when he was at that. Anyway, yeah. What are the good grounds? I have actually been to Stamford Bridge, so yeah.
I used to work at Stamford
Did
Bridge.
you? It was Stoke.
Yeah.
It was Stoke against Chelsea. We were in the Stoke end, so obviously I was a Stoke supporter. We got a lot of abuse. I think the Stoke supporters really appreciated us. So yeah, shout out to the Stoke supporters. Yeah, but a striker got sent off. I can't remember who it was. So yeah, that's another one. But
What?
yeah.
Which stadium did you go to and you thought was an absolute letdown? Like
Mm,
it looks better on TV, but it's not actually that good. It just looks like a standard stadium.
right. And this is going to be said with no bias here, but honestly, Stamford Bridge. Yeah.
Mine was Old Trafford.
Okay, I haven't been to Old Trafford. I've been to Anfield for a visit, and I've got to say I really liked Anfield, but I haven't been to Old Trafford. Yeah.
I've been to Anfield. I was in the away
Yeah.
section when Arsenal was it 6-1 when Julio Baptista scored a hat trick
Mm.
in the Carling Cup.
Yes, it was. That was 6-3.
To
6-3.
circa
6-3, wasn't it?
six
Yeah.
three, circa
Ali Adier
2006, give
also
or
scored,
take.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah, what a baller!
Yeah. Waldo, yeah. But, no, Old Trafford, yeah. Tell me more because I'd like to laugh.
I, I just thought it was a bit meh.
Is it because
No,
it's dark? Because you
no. Do you know?
yeah.
Generally, do you know what? Right? Because always growing up on ITV, we'd always see Old Trafford,
Hmm.
right? So I guess like Newcastle, two two of the stands in Old Trafford is like a single tier, but it's a big tier, right? It's just one bank, if that makes
Hmm.
sense. And the other two are built up like they're double tiers.
Hmm.
Uh, I always thought, younger growing up, I always thought United had the biggest stadium in the world. Just
Yeah.
just from watching it on
Sure, sure.
TV.
Yeah.
When I went there, it wasn't that big.
Hmm. Yeah.
Well, one stand was small. I just thought to myself, "Oh, that's
No,
really small."
I gotta say I've always thought it looked rubbish on TV as well. Again, I'm saying this with no bias whatsoever. I thought Stamford Bridge looked pretty good on TV and when I went. It's a bit dark. I found it a little bit dark.
Yeah, I know what you
Yeah,
mean.
and
I know
then
what you
Old
mean.
Trafford, I don't know what it's like in real life, but on TV, again, it looks really dark. And I remember Peter Crouch also saying something he really didn't like playing at Old Trafford, and this is something that I find very silly. Is you know how the pitch sort of pivots down. It kind of there's a slant right going down. It's quite
Well,
dangerous.
that's a camber, though, isn't it? For the water to run off. Or do you mean off the grass football pitch?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Off when you get off the grass. Yeah, yeah. I know what you mean though. Yeah, for the water to run off. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just easier for players to get injured and stuff. It's like, and I think Peter Crouch was saying that he would always like be careful when going into tackles. He just didn't like playing at Old Trafford. Yeah,
Yeah, there you
I
go.
was about to say another ground. On the contrast, apart from the Emirates, because you can't say the Emirates, but which ground would you say was really spectacular? I haven't mentioned one, and I'm saving it for this one. Yeah, was there any ground that you thought, wow, this is amazing?
Do you know what? Highbury.
I never went. Never got to go.
As in Arsenal. Okay, Arsenal's Highbury, our original
Of
home.
course, yeah.
And the reason why I say that is the clock end.
Mm.
It always blew me away how it was just kind of so unique.
Yeah. It looks great on TV.
Oh, I've got a second one
Yeah.
actually, if you don't mind. Everton, Goodison Park,
Oh, okay.
because of the church in the corner.
Okay.
They've got a church in the corner, right?
Mm.
And it's between the main stand and the Gladys Street end, and it's hidden away in the corner. And back in the day, all around the side of the pitch, they used to be able to bury your loved one's ashes. So it's got a lot of character and
Yeah.
really sort of
Yeah.
unique sort of ground, which they've kept for the women's team, haven't they, this year? So credit to them.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to say the new camp. Didn't watch a game. Went on a tour
Oh, I've
there.
never been.
Just go on a tour. It's spectacular.
I can't. It's closed.
Is it
It's refurb,
is
mate.
it refurb? No.
Not. Yeah.
I don't know what the situation is, but I went back in the day when Messi was there. Yeah, like it's a proper experience. The tour itself is just quite amazing. Yeah, kind of maybe.
Arsenal need to improve that.
Yeah,
though,
yeah.
don't
Well,
they?
okay. So yeah. Thanks for taking the words out of my mouth, but it kind of left me quite jealous, to be honest. I was just like
Yeah.
talking about, you know, how people often have this debate on social media or in life, who's the bigger club, right? Whatever the hell that means, right? What's the bigger club? But when you go to Barcelona, you think, oh man, this is a big club. This is a big club. Now I haven't been to the Bernabeu, so maybe Bernabeu is even bigger. But yeah. Different level.
So I went to St. Pauli Stadium in Hamburg. We were on a stag and we went over to Hamburg.
Yeah.
And we got tickets for a St. Pauli
Yeah.
game. And the atmosphere was absolutely rocking, incredible. And inside the concourse, they've graffitied the walls like a graffiti artist
Yeah.
has gone to town
Yeah.
on the walls inside the stadium. It's unreal little stadium. They were working on it, so it might look a bit different now because that was a good few years ago. But currently Barcelona are playing in the Olympic Stadium in Barcelona, right? Because the new camp has been knocked down, demolished, and rebuilt. I think they're close to finishing. It must be not too far away.
Yeah.
Cool stadium, yeah. Olympic Stadium, awesome. A lot of history there.
I mean, what's interesting is like all the other teams that we talked about. It was always easier for me to get tickets to those games than it was to Arsenal, and
yeah, it was impossible to get tickets. I mean, we would have been the same age. We would have been a similar age, right?
Well, we're still a similar age now.
But that's what I'm saying. But that's what I mean. Like, I think we're a similar age. At that time, trying to get a ticket for Henri Bergkamp Perez every weekend, not a chance, mate. Not a chance.
Yeah. Right, I think we should leave it there. We tried to target 45 minutes and we failed miserably, so I do apologize about that, listeners. But think about it this way: it's more content. All right, you will probably laugh more. You'll probably go down a trip down memory lane. Right, so try to see the positives on that as well, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this podcast. Liam, anything to add?
Wherever you are in the world, have a great weekend, and the time is ticking down until the Arsenal play again. Just hold on, hold on.
Wait, can't believe we made this.
Hold on, stay strong.
Made this song. All right, okay. All right, we really got to go now. All right, take care, guys. Goodbye.
Bye, everyone. Bye, 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 bye.